Residents in north suburban Winnetka understand the pain of Littleton, Colorado better than most. It was 11 years ago that Lori Dan went on a shooting spree at Hubbard Woods Elementary School. One child was killed, several other people were wounded. The people of Winnetka also know how tough it is going to be for Littleton to cope with the pain and go through the healing process. ABC 7's Frank Mathie live in Winnetka with more tonight from there. Frank.
Yeah, Kathy, the people of Winnetka, especially those people who were in one way or another involved in that shooting, still just don't like to talk about it. Not the police, not the teachers, not the families of the young victims. But two men did agree to speak with us. One, a psychiatrist who's been involved in the case since the beginning. Another man who is now dedicating his life to the elimination of handguns. Bob Williamson's two daughters were at Hubbard Woods School that morning 11 years ago. They were not injured, but the Lori Dan event turned Williamson into an anti-gun activist. Dr. Eitan Scwarz, a psychiatrist, he was called into the school immediately after the shooting. It doesn't surprise him at all that people still don't want to discuss that terrible day.
A lot of pain and a lot of silence.
Silence?
Silence.
Why?
People don't want to remember.
Bob Williamson, however, does talk. He says he was riding home on the train that day when he heard of the shooting. It changed his life forever.
I was listening to my Walkman radio. A news bulletin cut in on the program I was hearing saying there had been a shooting in a suburban school. It was my children's school. The victims were second grade age. There was no way for me to call home. It was the worst 45 minutes of my life.
Williamson's daughters were safe. But that's still when he decided to make Winnetka a handgun-free community. His activism paid off.
Aside from mobilizing a community, we have banned the ownership of handguns in the town, and this happened within a year.
So no handguns in Winnetka, but Dr. Scwarz says that still can't heal some old wounds.
The very act of trying to avoid looking at what happened and thinking about it prevents people from healing in some true sense.
Dr. Scwarz adds that after traumatic events like this, the one here 11 years ago and the one yesterday in Colorado, about 60% of the people will eventually recover, but he does say that up to 40% of the people can suffer permanent psychological scars. Frank Mathie, ABC 7 News Live in Winnetka. Alan, back to you.
Yeah, Frank, thanks. 11 years after the fact, obviously the damage still very fresh on their minds. Now to our Chuck Gowdy, who's